Hello, my name's Scott Perry. I'm a professional magician and this is a magic review.
It's a kind of magic.
In today's review, we're going to have a look at Ancient Chinese Water Bowl by Jia Tianshi. Hopefully I've pronounced that well. The TLDR on this is, I love it. It has elements of good quality and bad quality. The bad quality really is just with the packaging, but it's a double-edged sword because it's kind of nice, but fails in some parts as well. But that doesn't affect the trick. The trick itself is fantastic. I'm not familiar and have never learned about water bowls or anything like, or water productions, anything like that before. I love this. Not for close-up magic, obviously, but if you perform in set performances, if you perform in parlor, if you perform on stage, this is lovely. Not for everyone, and I'll explain the specifics of where this works best and certain performance situations where it doesn't work quite as well in the final thoughts. But overall, I love this and can only recommend it to you. That's my TLDR. Let's get into a few more thoughts. What is it? It's a bowl, and we're going to touch on what's included in a moment, but it's a bowl that you basically produce water from. So you can do tricks with this, you can use it as a prop, you can have things in it. Again, I'll show you in a moment, but it's a way of magically producing a bowl full of water. It's quite impressive, I think, and quite magical as well, because the elements are some of the hardest things for people to control. Fire, water, wind, earth even. So yeah, that's what it is. You basically produce a bowl of water from nothing. But what do you get? You get this nice little cloth or handkerchief or whatever you want to call it. Has a nice little design on it. You receive this, which has the link, QR code and the printed link to the instructions. The instructions are roughly 15 minutes long. Yes, they're short, but they do tell you everything that you need to know. And in those 15 minutes, Jai, if I am pronouncing that correctly, he also teaches you the Benson Bowl Routine. So you don't just get to have the prop, you also get to learn a sponge ball routine. That's a tried and tested routine to entertain people. There's also some little scrunched up pieces of tissue here as well. I was practicing a couple of things, but this is the bowl. It's kind of small. It's like a small noodle bowl, but really nice. I guess you'd be able to buy these in lots of different places though, depending where you are in the world. That is pretty much what you get with the Ancient Chinese water bowl. How easy is it? It's super easy. You need the bowl, you need the cloth, and that's pretty much it. You can use it in conjunction with other tricks, like I said, with Benson's balls, which is taught on the instructions. And then when you're finished with your routine, you can produce a whole bowl of water. Let me grab, so let's see if I have a little container here as well. And I'll try to show you near the end of the review. But that's the part of how easy is it. It's really easy. The setup for it is a little bit tricky and will take you a little bit of practice. Once you're good at it and once you know what you're doing, then it will be much easier to do and you'll be able to do it pretty fast, maybe 10 to 30 seconds to set it up. There's also 2 or 3 ways of setting up the bowl as well, just in case you're in a pinch, because the main easiest way and most effective way of setting up the bowl is with a sink that is full, that you can submerge the bowl in, basically. That's the easiest and best and fastest method of setting up the bowl. But he does take you through some other ways of setting up the bowl, just in case you're traveling or you're stuck in a hotel or you're in a performance situation in a venue and you're struggling a bit and you don't necessarily have a sink or a box or a bowl to submerge your Chinese water bowl in. This part has gone on a little bit too long, so I'll cut it off there. It's a very easy effect to perform. Reset time is, 3, 4, 5 minutes. You're probably not going to perform this more than once in one performance anyway, so I would assume it wouldn't matter to most people, but if you did want to do shows back to back or performances back to back, then it's going to take you maybe 5 minutes to reset this, depending on which method of preparation you're going to do. If you're going to do the one where you have a sink or a box full of water that allows you to set it up faster, it may only take you a minute to do it. But with the other methods, it might take you 3, 4, 5 minutes to do it. When you're first practicing this, it's going to take you a while. It's going to take you 10, 20, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour of playing with it and trying to set it up in different ways, testing the pressure and everything like that. So don't get discouraged if in the beginning you find it difficult to set up and reset. But again, this section has gone on a little bit longer than I would have liked as well, but the reset time is very fast, 5 minutes or less. Angles are great. I mean, you just have a bowl basically, so you can do your Benson's balls like that if you want to, and you have your sponge balls and they appear under it, and then you take it out and then another one appears. So you're covered pretty much from 360 degrees, and there's not really an angle restriction. So the angles on the ancient Chinese water bowl are great. You can't really ask for better. Pocket space, well, I imagine you're not going to hold this in your pocket, but you can see it's roughly the size of my hand. So you get kind of the idea of how big the bowl is. It's just a small noodle bowl or soup bowl, and it won't take up much space in your box, in your luggage, in your briefcase, wherever you may be transporting it. And of course you have the box that comes with it if you want to transport it in that as well. I just want to interrupt this review for a second. If you find my reviews helpful and if they help you make a purchase or decide not to purchase and save you money, please do support this channel. The more support this channel gets, the more subscribers we get, the more people who interact with the channel, the more reviews I'm going to be able to do, and the more I'm going to be able to help you. I'm trying to do these reviews to help the magic community and help people like you, because there are a lot of reviewers who talk absolute nonsense. So if you do enjoy this channel and you do find my content useful, then please do share, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate everything everyone does for this channel. Back to the review. And that brings us on to a few of my final thoughts. The box, although really nice, it's really soft inside. It's, for the most part, quite well made. But there are some small bits and pieces, like there's some hot glue up here, that the finishing is not great. When you start to look around the box itself, my box at least isn't the best quality, but you're probably not going to say, as I say, use this box in your shows, in your performances. You're just going to use it to carry the bowl around, perhaps. But it's nice, and the embroidery on the top is really nice, but don't expect an immaculate box if mine is anything to go by, because there are a few bits and corners and things that are not the best quality. The other thing is, actually, I emptied these rolled up pieces of tissue out earlier, so I thought, and I got this out, so I thought that I'll show you how easy this is to perform. So basically, you would have the handkerchief out, you'd put the bowl over it. This is after you've performed a routine, and then you would try to have some sort of container nearby, and then you can produce basically, there you go. It was set up this whole time, this whole review, this has been set up. I don't know, because I haven't watched the footage back, how convincing it was, but that's it. That's the Chinese water bowl. As I said, I really love this effect. I think that the quality and what you receive is really good for the price point of £65. I don't think that's too bad for what's included. The only thing I would say is I wish there was another version, or I hope that a new version is brought out with a slightly larger bowl. This is quite a small bowl. I love the effect. I don't think there's anything else I can tell you, or any tips or any other things, but if you have any questions, do leave it in a comment below. There'll be details for this in the video description, in the top pinned comment. And yeah, I hope you found this useful. I hope you found this review insightful, and do let me know if you decide to buy it yourself. As I say, I love this effect. I'm going to be using it in performances and shows over the coming years. I don't have a show in mind yet, but I am currently putting a show together that I'm absolutely going to use this in. And I would buy another version that is £100 if it was slightly larger. But that's enough jabbering from me today. I'll see you in the next review.